guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. I'm doing a gift request from none other than MontaukEd. And it's an artist I haven't done before. And when I saw the name at first, I double took because I'd seen Steve Winwood in concert in New York City in Pier, I don't know, 23 or something decades ago. But this is Steve Winwood song, Better Than I Used to Be. I don't know this song. And I haven't done anything by Steve Winwood before, so this is new. And this just posted within the last few days on Steven's channel. I don't think it'll be blocked because generally speaking, YouTube works that way, and it's a new model in which the artists like the exposure, even from reactors. And so this is good. So, Ed, thank you for this. MontaukEd made a gift to the channel for me to do this. So, Ed, thank you as always. You know my thoughts about you, but you're a top shelf human being. So when Ed leaves you a comment, read it and take it in. If it's a compliment, take it because he means it. So let's see what Steven's got for us here. Better than I used to be. I know in some ways I'm better than I used to be. That comes with age and experience. And if you care, you'll get more things right, righter, or better. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh, this is going to be poignant.
I know how to hold a grudge. I could send a bridge up in smoke.
Burn them.
And I can't count the people I've let down, all the hearts I've broke. You ain't gotta dig too deep if you wanna find some dirt on me. But I'm learning who you've been ain't who you've gotta be.
Fact.
It's gonna be an uphill climb. Oh, honey, I won't lie. I ain't no angel, but I've been sitting out a few more dances with the devil, cleaning up my act little by little. I'm getting there. I can finally stand the man in the mirror I see. I ain't good as I'm gonna get, but I'm better than I used to be. I've pinned a lot of demons to the ground, got a lot of old habits licked, but there's still one or two I might need you to help me kick. Standing in the rain so long has left me with a little rust, but put some faith in me, someday you'll see there's a diamond under all this dust. I ain't no angel, but I've been sitting out a few more dances with it.
All right, where's he been? Honestly, with a voice like this and a delivery like this, I mean, maybe he's also reflecting on his musical abilities, but I don't think so. He's really talking about behavior and his socialization skills and how he got along with people and didn't get along with people, including himself. But he's got a really, really listenable voice, like one of those voices that's like sort of like a top shelf listening voice, not necessarily classically trained. But I mean, there was a moment in there where there were shades of Randy Travis, a sensitivity of a Vince Gill. So, yeah, I mean, he's just got it going on. And I love the content of the song, the meaning and the lyrics.
Devil, cleaning up my act little by little. I'm getting there. I can finally stand the man in the mirror I see. I ain't as good as I'm gonna get, but I'm better than I used to be.
The duty of continual improvement we human beings have.
I ain't no angel, but I've been sitting out a few more dances with the devil. and cleaning up my act little by little. I'm getting there. I can finally stand the man in the mirror I see. I ain't as good as I'm gonna get, but I'm better than I used to be. I'm better than I used to be.
That's good that he can admit that. And that's true. If you got $10 in your bank account, it's no shame to admit you have $10 in the bank. That's just truth. And if you're better than you used to be, there's no shame in admitting that. I want to get where I want to get. I'm not there yet and may never be there. But in writing my book back in 1998, it was a theologically oriented book, and it was 550 pages. It was published by International Scholars Publications, and it was a hell of a project. It took 3 years to write that book, do all the research for it and such. But there was a book referenced in there, within the book, and I was never able to find this one. It was the only book I could not find, located somewhere, a microfiche at some library anywhere across the country. Could not locate this. Librarians at Princeton couldn't help me find it, and so on. The title of the book, because it was in a Christian context, this book was The Christian's Duty of Continual Improvement. Now, I broaden that. It's a human being's duty of continual improvement. And even if you're an atheist, if we are the product of evolution and our brain evolved so large to where human beings cooperate with one another, and that's how we're able to get off the danger track of having lions and tigers and snakes and other animals attacking us. We get to live in homes because we cooperate with each other and build these homes. If we're the product of that because our brain grew so large, it ought to inform us that to do honor to all the people who went before us and all the species that went before us, however you want to view it, we have a duty of continual improvement. And that's what he's singing about here. And you need to be self-aware. There's got to be, that's what a conscience is. It's sort of like metacognition, where you're aware of what you're aware of what you're thinking about. And that's why it's not a false humility, or it's not braggadocious either, where he's saying, I'm better than I used to be. Look, you've got to have measuring sticks in life. And if you're going to achieve a goal, if, let's say, to use my $10 analogy before, or reference before, if your goal is to have $100 in the bank, and you started with none, and you went from 10 to 11 to 12 to 15 to 20, and now you've got $38 in the bank. Well, guess what? You've got more in the bank than you used to have. To say you're not where you want to be, you still want to get to that 100, so you got work to do. But the same thing is true in many ways with our own, when we take a personal inventory, and we want to be somebody or something that we're not quite there yet, but we're closer to it because we're paying attention. And that is a huge key in life, is to pay attention and not to be critical only. It's okay to be critical of yourself if you screw something up or what have you, but you don't want to just be critical. Like my yoga teacher Ranjita said during the teacher training, she said to us, if you're going to be in balance, if you're going to believe the bad things about yourself, you've also got to be willing to believe the good things about yourself. And man, did that struck home with me. I'm like, you're right. You know, if you have a strength, if you're good in some areas, it's a false humility to deny those things. It doesn't help other people. I analogize it to, like, if you're a dentist and you could fix people's problems, it's not bragging to say to people, I can fix your tooth problems. They need to know that you have a strength and a talent and ability in a given area. And it's, that they can't fix, that others can't fix, but you can. So it's only honest. It's truthful. It's good to know that about yourself. And it's the same thing where If you're impatient, or you'd been rude, or you'd been crass, or unfeeling, or not, or ungenerous with people, but you began to loathe that about yourself, or realize, wow, there are better ways to live. I got to get this chip off my shoulder, and somehow I got to fumble my way through this thing. I'll fail a few times, but I got to keep trying to get forward. And if that means indicting yourself for your failures along the way, fine. See those failures, but don't wallow in them. Continue to make that progress, because as you start to make the progress, like he said, you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, I'm not that piece of crap that I used to be. And sometimes you've got to hit rock bottom to see yourself in that light, and then begin your journey to becoming a better person. And it doesn't happen overnight, but I'll tell you, boy, when you sure get to some of your personal milestones, like, wow, I didn't pop off at that last person, or wow, I held the door, for that dude, whereas I only used to hold it for women, but now I'll hold it for anybody. Or whatever, I let that person into traffic, whereas in the past I would have cut them off. You see the changes in yourself, and then you see the benefit. You're like, yeah, it feels pretty good to not have this edge about me all the time. And you start to live a little bit more peacefully. You sleep a little bit better. You're not in love with yourself all the time. That's not going to happen anyway. Not if you have a conscience, because we do, wherever we are. Our goal, not our neurosis, but we should have certain desires to become nuanced better. But in the beginning, you might have to take large steps, but you can make them. So, Ed, of course, you've got me off and running on this one, and you knew it. I forget. And then in the end, I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, this is a MontaukEd song. All right, I'm going to rate this song. I love the way he sang it. I love the tempo of this song. I love the piano. I love the orchestral feel. There were strings in there. And but I really liked his voice, his delivery. I think it was honest. And I have a feeling he wrote this. I don't know why I have that. Maybe his wife wrote it for all I know. But something tells me that he wrote this, because he sang it with a sense of ownership. And that frequently will bleed through. Not always. Some singer, Miranda Lambert's really good at singing other people's songs. Obviously George Strait, and they make them their own. But sometimes there just seems to be a difference. And this one strikes me as that. The number that struck me immediately was a 9.4. I love the honesty, and I love how it was produced well too, and that it wasn't understated or overstated. That was a legit, I'm assuming, independent artist song, but it was a legitimate country song. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Ed, thank you very much, my friend. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.
It's gonna be an uphill climb. Oh, honey, I won't